show. My name is Scarlett, and this is my mom.
Lisa, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate y'all.
And this is Between Us. And we are a mother-daughter podcast where we're going to be sharing about faith and family and things that we've just experienced throughout our life, funny stories, and whatever we feel like talking about today. So, what are we talking about today?
This is kind of
You want to hold it?
funny conversations about our family. What comes to mind, Scarlett, when you think about family, when you think about us?
Well, so we had talked about, we have one mic, so we had talked about some funny stories. We've been just kind of like laughing in the kitchen, talking about things that have happened throughout the years that we could share that would kind of introduce us to you guys. So when I think about family, I think about really spending time together. Yeah. Yep, going on trips, playing cards, sitting at the table, making dinner, inviting people over for dinner. I feel like we've always, growing up, and I'm going off the rails here. That's what we do. Growing up, I always felt like we had like an open door policy. Like we never locked our door. We lived in a pretty okay neighborhood, but even before I can remember, my grandma and papa, they would just have visitors come over and unannounced. And it was just known that you could just go to grandma and papa's house or, Albert and Sophie's, and you just knock on the door and they'd let you in and they'd have you over for dinner. And
That's right.
You'd end up playing cards or talking about life or whatever the news was in this tiny little town. That was kind of like our culture, just very family oriented, and just come over, kick off your shoes. It's like that country song.
Yeah.
Kick off your shoes, come on in.
Yep, that's right. That's one of the things that I have a hard time with. Is waiting to be invited or to call somebody and say, hey, what's going on? Can I stop by today? I have a hard time with that, don't I, Scarlett? I whenever she grew up and moved out of the house and started her family, I know Ashton hated it because I would just show up. I would just, I was in the area and I would just show up. Yeah. And to me, that's just a natural part because that's the way it was back home with my mom and my dad. People did not call and say, hey, can we stop by today? Neighbors just stopped by. And I guess I really shouldn't call them neighbors because we lived, 3 miles from town, and there was only one neighbor across the street, so we didn't really have neighbors. So they weren't really neighbors, but they were friends, that just would stop by, and I had a hard time with that when you grew up and had your own family of me just not showing up. I just showed up unannounced. Yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember that one time?
Yeah. No, I remember my husband Ashton would say like, her mom just comes over all the time, and she's over all the time. And to me, I'm thinking, well, what's the big deal? She's just my mom. Okay. People just come over because they love you. Okay, you're an important person, and people are coming over to see you.
Yes.
And so that was just normal. But for him,
for us,
yeah. So my husband is Asian, so he's Filipino and Thai, and they're very different culture. But for us, we just come on over.
Yeah.
Like people would go to my dad's house, they wouldn't. You're just driving by. Yeah, thought I'd stop in, say hey, knock on the door. And I'm telling you, the doors were never locked. We didn't lock the doors back then. You didn't really,
I lock my doors.
Oh, now we do. Yeah, for sure.
Don't ask my husband about how many times I lock a door nowadays, but back then, But I think that's part about growing up in the country.
Yeah.
We have a rural sense of that's who we are, and when I came to the big city, I'm bringing, my country life into the big city. And it's funny because my husband and I, Reuben, were just having this conversation yesterday about coming by uninvited. We have a friend of ours that he just stops by. He never calls. He just drives by, knocks on the door,
Yeah.
and it drives my husband batty.
So what do you think about it?
I think it's normal.
Yeah.
But it drives him batty because he thinks, this is what he told me. Good manners is that you call and you let somebody know that you're coming by.
Yeah.
You just don't stop by uninvited. And I kind of, look at him and give him one of those funny little looks with my eyes, because that's not the way I grew up. And he is all the time telling me that, well, here in the South we have manners in this family, and we don't do stuff like that. So I'm like, well, I guess I grew up without any manners in the country, because that's the way we did it.
Yeah. I don't know. People talk about Southern hospitality, but when you get in big cities, I feel like the culture of that city or the Southernness kind of goes out the window.
True.
And it's not. Now we live in a little rural community, and now I feel the Southern hospitality. I do feel like you could just, I could call my neighbor and ask her for some onions. But when you live in the city, it's like, you just don't. Who are you calling me? Who are you, sending your kid over to my house so they could play with my kid? What? What is that? It's so weird. But yeah, so that's kind of what I think about when I think about family and home.
Well, let me tell you, one of the first things that I noticed when I came here from a rural community in Indiana to Jacksonville was that people they came home from work, they pulled their car into the garages, and the garage door come down, and the front door got shut, and you didn't know your neighbors.
Yeah.
You literally did not know your neighbors. We lived there on King Cardine for probably 18 years, something like 18 years. And the one neighbor to the right of us, he didn't like us.
Nobody liked us.
He did not like us. He did not like us. It was like the Beverly Hillbillies coming to town.
That's literally what I was thinking about. When I'm thinking about what are we going to talk about? Well, we're the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, we came into this big city and lived in this nice upper class neighborhood.
Yeah.
That my husband always said, well, they think that they're snobs here. That we have a, like we live in a gated community, but we didn't live in a gated community.
Yeah.
But they thought that we lived in a gated community.
Yeah.
Because I let my children, this is what we did in the country. Mm-hmm. You let the kids out to play. And I let my children out to play. Yeah. They went and played in the neighborhood. And so anyways, that was strange because they didn't like us because I did stuff like that. And do you remember, did any of the parents say anything about you or Summer riding your bike and you had no helmet?
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah. I got bad looks.
Oh my gosh.
Because I didn't put a helmet on my kid. Actually, wow. Chris, your good friend Chris, JD, called him Helmet Head.
That's right. No, they called him Bullet. Do you remember that? They called him Bullet.
Because he drove around on his bicycle
with
a silver helmet, so we called him Bullet. Because we all grew up in Indiana and the rural, and children did not wear helmets when they went out to ride their bicycles. Yeah. So I go back to say that, all right, so the neighbor to the right of me didn't like us because he did not like the way I gardened and planted flowers.
Oh,
this neighborhood was so bad that he literally came over one day and told me where I should be planting my flowers.
Oh, yeah.
He did not like where I planted them. And he was giving me all kinds of suggestions.
Yeah.
And then he gave me some flowers.
I didn't like your roadside flowers.
He did not like the flowers.
Okay. But you have to realize she would drive down the side of the road. Oh, pick that one. We're going to pull over and grab that. And when I was a kid, I thought they were weeds. I just thought, okay, my mom is a tree hugger. She just loves trees. Literally would hug a tree, any flower on the side of it, and they look like weeds to me. And it's totally different now that I'm an adult because I love the weeds and the trees. But yeah, so he would come over and he did not like it. Because we had an what is it called? Association.
Yes, association.
Yeah, and she didn't follow the rules. Not one bit.
No, I didn't like following the rules.
We didn't even pay in the association. Did we pay the dues?
No.
Yeah, but we still went to the pool, and me and my friends figured out how to unlock the pool gate. We just stuck our finger behind it. We figured out. So we would just go to the pool, and we even made keys from my neighbor who did have a key, and we just copied that key.
Well, we didn't go to the pool. We didn't pay the association.
So we
dues.
were the neighborhood hillbillies.
Yes, we were. We did.
And how many vehicles did we have with all our stuff?
God. We got in trouble on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Because we had too many vehicles.
Yep.
We had a 2-car garage, and all the neighbors, when they came home, the garage doors went up, the cars went inside, the garage doors went come home.
Yep.
Well, we had all our junk in our garage, so we couldn't park in the garage. So then we had, because JD lived there, and his oldest son Joey lived there, and then Mike had his vehicle, I had my vehicle, and if my sister come by, she had a vehicle.
Yep.
So I don't know, that's a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
So we have been towed from our own driveway.
Yes.
The police have knocked on the door asking us to please move one of our vehicles. They're not supposed to be parked on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they did everything that they could do to try to get us to move out of this neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
we stayed.
We stayed. We stayed
persisted.
all the way till the people around us that used to cause us problems. Oh, Betty and Al, God bless them. There was always a war between Betty and Al.
I just can't imagine somebody
They
thinking,
sold their house and moved out, and my youngest daughter, Summer, when she moved out, she looked out the window when the van was the moving van, and she said, "Hooray! You're gone!" Do you know that Al actually came over? I had planted some type of plant. I think it was a vining plant. I don't know. That would have beautiful flowers. And I planted it next to the fence that was closest to his side of the house. And I don't know how long it was because we had a yard guy that was coming to do our mowing. So I never paid attention. Well, once we didn't have the yard guy anymore, I had to mow the yard because we were struggling financially. So I was trying to save money. Our yard was so tiny. So I was mowing the yard and realized, where is my plant? Where is that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I blamed my stepson, Brock. I literally blamed poor Brock. Brock, I am so sorry. I'm certain I have apologized to you for this. Brock was always mischief, and he was getting into stuff.
Yeah.
And I swore Brock had went out there and dug that up. And I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years went by, and old Al and I was at it again over our plants and the yard, and he said something. He said, "Oh, and by the way, you know that plant you planted? I pulled it up." Oh man, talk about it. My head turned around.
Like
I said, "You did what?" It was the last conversation Al and I had. I'm not kidding. I told him, I said, I blamed my stepson for that. He got in trouble.
Yeah.
He got grounded for that. And you did it all along. I told him, get out of my yard. Don't come back.
Yeah.
So we were the hillbillies.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Sorry about that. That was a long banter.
All right. Okay, so what else are we talking about? Because that was totally not scripted. Everything we wrote down is not on the list one single bit.
That's what we do best.
Yeah.
So, funny things.
Yeah.
What is a funny memory that you have, Scarlett, what is a funny memory that you have about one of our vacations that we did? Just one of the craziest, funniest things that you can think about. A memory. A vacation.
Let me pull up my notes. I think you should tell that story. Because you remember it so well. About the camping trip.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, you could tell something else.
Oh no, I'll just add on to it. You start this story about this camping trip we go on.
Once upon a time.
This is good. I love it.
A long time ago, there was a single mother. The reason I was single because
this is our camping trip.
Yeah,
we're talking about long ago.
Our stepfather had passed away, and I had bought Mike wasn't here. I had bought a
Sebring too.
Yeah, that too. I had a convertible, a little Sebring convertible, and I had a big giant 16 passenger van that we called the church bus, but it was a work bus for my husband, but we turned it into a whatever bus. Anyways, and I bought a pop-up camper, and we were going to travel around the country. And my nephew Trevor, God bless you, Trevor. We love you, Trevor. We have so much fun with him. Maybe he'll be on an episode. I hope so.
Oh my gosh, please, can Trevor be on an episode with us?
Yeah, Trevor. Anyway, so we decided that we were going to take the camper out. Yeah. And we were going to go to Jenny Springs. Yeah, we were going to Jenny
full
Springs.
Or something.
No, we didn't stop to think that we were supposed to call and figure out what time that you could come in. I mean, are you kidding me? I thought you go into a campground any time, day or night.
Yeah, you got to book it apparently.
Apparently you weren't allowed in after 6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I thought, people working, who tells you can't come to the campground past 6 o'clock? Anyways.
Rules, I guess.
Rules. I don't like rules. I never have liked rules.
Who reads those?
I don't know.
Yeah, the sign. Yeah, who read that?
So we get there, and you and Summer are driving the Sebring.
Yeah.
Me and Trevor are in the 16-passenger Dodge van with the camper behind. And you don't remember this, but we were taking this out on a voyage camping trip because the next week we were taking off to go cross country. We were going to go to Arizona, and we were I was going to take the camper. After this weekend, I realized we'd be safer if we didn't take this camper. So anyways,
so picture it, all right? We're on the road. We got two vehicles. We got the big van, the camper hitched on. I don't even know how you figured that out because I think that was difficult getting a hitch.
No, I actually took it to the RV place and I got a hitch on it. So that's what you do.
I mean, backing up with it. You didn't quite know how to back up with it.
I don't know how I figured out all this.
I
had to have a friend's husband. I said, can I rent your husband for a few hours? I called it a rent-a-husband. Anytime I had something wrong with the house or I needed help, I needed a husband. So I said, can I rent your husband for a few hours? And he would back in my camper in my garage because Lord knows our neighborhood.
You would have taken out the garage.
Our neighborhood would not let you have a camper out.
Yeah.
I'd have been told. So anyway, so he come over. So he helped me back it in and back it out. So it was outside and we took it on a voyage camping trip to the Springs, but we didn't get there in time. We roll up in there and it was closed. And I'm like, what? It's closed? Yeah. It was like 6 o'clock, 6:30. We can't. Oh, they had spaces available, but you can't come in after 6 o'clock. So we turned around and we were headed back to.
We're going to find another spot.
Yeah, we were going to find another spot. And down here in Central Florida, there's springs everywhere. And so there might be one spring here, and you go 4 or 5 miles down the road, and there's another spring. So I think it was called Post Springs. I said, let's try that one out, Post Springs. And so and of course, there's a lot of dirt roads around here.
Yeah, with the springs.
Yeah, so a dummy me didn't think, could I turn down this road?
Yeah. So you turn down the road. Okay, I'm just going to paint this picture for you. Okay. And so she goes in, and I guess I'm just following her. I don't know. We didn't have walkie-talkies or cell phones to talk to each other. No. And I mean, she's booking it. She is giddy up going, and she's in this big bouncy van going, boing, boing. And I'm like, goodness, Mom, like, you're going fast.
Why is she going so fast?
Yeah, and me and Summer had the top down, and we're driving behind her trying to keep up because she's picking up speed. And you can see the van just boom, boom, up and down.
The pop-up camper behind.
Yes. And I'm like, goodness, like, she's driving like a bat out of hell. Like, she is really zooming. Okay. You want to keep...
So let me tell you what's going on inside the van. I realized when I turned down that dirt road, you got to realize it's not solid, hard dirt. It is like white sugar sand.
It's soft.
Soft sand. And I'm like, oh my word.
I mean, God.
It's Friday night. It's 7 o'clock. I'm going to get stuck out here, and I'm going to have to hire. I could just see this all in my head. I'm going to have to hire one of those great big semi trucks that comes in here and hauls us out of here because my vehicle was sinking in the sand.
Yeah.
That's why I was flooring it.
Yeah. I had no idea.
No. I am flooring it, and I've got Trevor, God bless him. He's over on the other side. He's in the passenger side, and he's cackling. He's laughing as hard as he can laugh, cackling.
Yeah.
Because I literally am over here praying, Jesus, 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 push us, Lord, push us, Lord, because I could feel the sand trying to soak the truck and the trailer because it was so heavy down, and I'm praying, Jesus, put your angels behind us, push us, Lord, push us. Trevor is dying laughing over there. So I'm like, oh God, please don't let me get stuck out.
You gotta tell about the sign.
So we get to, I see the campground down this road, and I'm like, okay, Trevor, all right, oh no, they're closed. They're closed. We can't even get in. They're closed. So I know I can't stop, because if I stop, the vehicle is going to get stuck in the sand and the camper. So I couldn't stop. So here I am, flooring it as fast as I take this, and I literally whoom, and go up over the hillside and down. And I did a great big U-turn, big wide U-turn, fast. There was a sign there that said no turnarounds.
Yeah.
Well, I knocked the sign down. And I didn't stop. I didn't stop to say I'm sorry. I just kept driving.
I can't. Yeah, it's true. And I'm like, oh my God, she took out the sign and she just kept going. I'm like, Mom, like, did you not see that there? No, you just took off.
Yeah, because
I don't care what that sign said.
If I would have stopped, we would have been.
I would
have had to have towed. I would have had to pay a big towing company to come down this long, sandy dirt road to get me, and I couldn't do it. First of all, I didn't know if I had enough money to pay the thing, so I just kept on going and got back out on the highway, and we made it to. We still didn't stop. We didn't stop until we got to Hardee's. That's our vacations.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Good times, right?
Yeah, it was a good time.
Oh God.
We gotta have Trevor on here.
Trevor.
Even if we gotta Zoom him, he's gotta be on here.
Trevor is.
You remember how he always said, "What's for dinner?"
Oh yeah, Trevor.
Chicken.
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah, he stayed with us about a week or two.
Yeah.
And I've never been known for my cooking. I never claimed to be a cook. I would always say that's my sister. I'm Betty, but I'm not Big Betty. Big Betty is my sister, Betty Crocker. And then I'm Little Betty, and I don't claim to be a good cook. But, so Trevor would always say, well, what's for dinner tonight, Aunt Lisa? And I'd say, chicken. Chicken. Because that's all we ate. We ate chicken every night.
That's pretty much, yeah.
It was always an experiment in the crock pot, because whatever is in the cabinets, whatever I've got is what's going in that.
Some of the best stuff you don't even know how to remake.
No.
Like little Lindsay, her stuff that she loved.
Yeah.
What did we call it? Hobo stew.
Hobo stew. Don't know what hobo stew was,
Yeah.
but she loved it.
Yeah.
I've never been able to recreate it ever again.
Yeah. Oh,
So.
goodness.
That's just me.
All right. Well, I think we talked enough for this first episode. We hope that you just loved it and laughed with us. And if you have any funny stories, please send them in. We'll figure out how to get you to send them in. Maybe you could, if we post this on YouTube, you could comment and share your stories with us. But we just want to say thank you for sitting with us and chatting with us, laughing with us. And we hope to see you in the next episode of Between Us.
Between Us.
Yeah, and I'm Scarlett.
And I'm Lisa.
And we'll see you in the next video. Good?
Good.
All right.
See, I told you, we do better off.